Good afternoon, folks. This is Andrew Cardwell again. Some people say Dr.RSI. If you're going to talk to me or write to me, just say Dear Andrew. Back with you. I did something back with StockCharts, 6 weeks ago, back mid-December. We went through 5 or 6 stocks. Today we'll try and get through the CRB first, which is this chart. And I've been doing this a long time, and I've never seen as much craziness as I've seen in the last 6 months to a year. I mean, it's part the pandemic, it's part the election, it's part now the impeachment, and you got a little bit of everything. But the charts will always tell you what the markets are going to do if you listen. I've been doing this a long time. If you heard me last time, I talked about the fact that when I started my first 10 years working at a brokerage firm, I found RSI, we didn't have computers. So I had to calculate the RSI and plot it by hand, put it on graph paper. And the same things I discovered back then and was using 40 years ago are still working just as well today. If you've been to my website at cardwellrsiedge.com, I've got my course information and everything listed there. I've got some articles listed there. My direct email, trader011@msn.com. And I chose that because 011 is the international calling code when you're making international phone calls. And most of my clients are outside the US. But one of the things I discovered back then was the RSI is probably, and I see it still to today, I've met people who meet me at a conference and hear my lecture for an hour. And they say, well, I follow the RSI. I said, well, how long have you been doing it? They said, oh, about 6 months. You sell 70, you buy 30. I said, it's much more than that. And I said, you can't learn it all in a 1-hour presentation. So when I do these webinars, the one thing I always share is the range rules. Now, normally the RSI goes between 70 and 30, but it's a trending indicator. I don't say overbought or oversold. I call it overextended one way or the other. And bearish diversions and bullish diversions are not reversal patterns. They're corrective patterns. But after watching markets for 40 years and trading with the RSI, I'm just glad that I was able to find it because I actually read it from an article back in June of '78. And I know the old magazine was called Stocks and Futures. And now it's 40 some years and the RSI patterns still haven't changed. It stood the test of time. It's been pretty much my assistant and does all the work. All I do is sit back and understand what I've seen for years and watch for it. That's the trading program. You don't have a trading system, you take those to Vegas. So this is a chart I showed back in December with the CRB, which I call the inflation index, and I've been bullish waiting to see inflation come in, and it's starting to come in the commodities. CRB I first showed back in December. Rachel was telling me it was December 9. This is a weekly chart. So it actually, I started talking about inflation coming back in when I saw it in May and June, that this was starting to bottom out, turn up. I put moving averages on it. Now, my range rules, which I've gotten known for, is people are by nature bullish. So instead of 70 and 30, it'll get up to 80 and 20 for the extremes. So all I did was shift it 10 points and made it the uptrends 80 and 40 and made the downtrends 60 and 20. So here's a weekly. You always want to know what that longer term time frame looks like and its trend, and then trade in that direction, because the longer term time frame, one time frame longer than you're trading, is going to have an influence. Now, we got way down in March of last year to below 20. Then we went up through 60. Then we did not go below 40. Then if you look at that, after that, we went all the way up above 70 and into 80, back down to 40, but at higher price levels than it was before. These are what I call my little positive reversals, to where they go down, where the price is still greater than it was before, but the RSI went lower, got more overextended. I see we're down to like 4 or 5 minutes. So this is still positive. And I wanted to share it because I still see a lot of these commodity prices moving higher. If we look at eBay, because nobody can go to the mall anymore, they have to stay at home. And there's a daily chart on eBay showing the same thing. I'm sorry, this is CRB. Let's get eBay back up. Okay, there's eBay. And basically, it's been rallying since March of last year, up sideways, doesn't dip much below 40, continues to go higher. The stocks are the same way, NASDAQ especially. The dollar, normally, and I've been around and seen it a long time, normally people will look for the highest yield they can find. Well, interest rates have been declining, and the dollar index here has been in a downtrend. It's usually bullish when interest rates are rising. So this whole time the dollar index was falling, interest rates were still falling. Then we've gone sideways, and then we seem to have bottomed out recently on a daily chart. And we've had it rallying, which should mean we're expecting higher rates in yield. And a lot of people are seeing it go back above 1%. It was at 0.5% and it's turned higher. So normally when it turns higher, the dollar starts to fall, but the dollar was actually rising in the last couple of weeks. So you have to look at what the chart says and forget sometimes the normal inverse relationship. So there's the dollar. May make a little sideways action for a while, but I still think it's going to go lower. I still have targets. This is a US dollar index trading around 90. I had targets on the way down at 89.5 to 89.75. It went down, but there's no follow through. Now it's going sideways and a little bit to the upside. But even though interest rates are rising, now the dollar's got that behind it. So look at each market individually. I still expect to see lower prices going forward, but not as crazy as it's been. What was the other? S&P. Take a look at the S&P. Stocks are still up for the most part. Dow, S&P, and then the NASDAQ is just on its own. It's in its own world. Okay, S&P still up. And we're still staying way above the 40 level down here. And every dip has led to a higher bottom in price and a lower RSI. So I continue to project prices, but I think we are getting a little ahead of ourselves. So you may see it sideways, and they may pull the rug out one day and see a good 10% correction start. So you have to be very careful, step cautiously. Soybeans and gold. Soybeans have been the leader in the grains, and most of the grains, soybeans, wheat, corn, they're all going up with the inflation going up. Quick look at soybeans. They're still up. They're long-term up. That's daily. And I always look at weekly and monthly charts. It's almost parabolic, all above the 60. So it's taken out the top of the range rules on the bear market, 60 and 20 in the RSI, and staying above 60. It's like playing a basketball game. It all takes place above the rim as everybody's trying to tap it back up into the basket. So going forward, I just wanted to point out, you're starting to see more commodity activity. And I think commodities are going to be the markets to be in for the rest of this year. And we're going to see inflation come back. And if interest rates stay low, the inflation will send the dollar lower, currencies higher, gold and silver higher, and it's going to have a major impact on stocks too. We could see a 10 or 15% correction. Bitcoin was one that everybody jumped into, but it got extremely overbought, got up near 90 on the RSI, and is reversed. We had that big move down, but it's finding support. But I'm here to help. I usually do something here with stock charts, and then I'll do something with Bruce Frazier on power charts. But check out the website, and if I can help you, I'm on Twitter too as Cardwell RSI. And drop me an email. I'll get back to you. I want to help because we thought 2020 was exciting. 2021 is going to be just as exciting. I'm expecting to see a lot happen that's going to have markets all over the place. But I'm glad we had some time and look forward to our next time. Take care.
Hey, Grayson Rose here with StockCharts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, consider giving it a like down below, maybe leave us a comment, and if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe at the link up above. We're gonna bring you daily content from an incredible collection of technical analysts and financial experts.